Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Loughborough University Stadium for the PFA squad taking on their counterparts in the Netherlands, the team VVCS, also known as the Association of Contract Players, which was set up in 2004. This side coming over from the Netherlands to face the PFA squad are in the same situation as the PFA side that we've seen in the last 6 weeks. A fielded team of players who are looking to find a club before the start of the upcoming season. And not long to go now. Of course, the EFL has kicked off. That was last weekend. This weekend, the Championship kicks off on Friday night. And then, of course, the Premier League coming back to our screens in 2 weeks' time. But anyway, attention goes towards this PFA squad, and it's a new look squad in week 6. Of course, here is your side. As it has been before, the first lineup, or the first half, will be played by one set of 11 players, and the second half will be played by another. Here we go. Hubert Grassix in goal for the PFA side. James Brown, Patrick Bauer, who's already played for the PFA squad in this camp. Sam Barnes, Josh Ruffles, Anthony Ford, Jack Young, Isaac Christie-Davies, and a fairly well-known front three to players who have played in the Championship: Adam Reach, Mustafa Carriol, and Chris Maguire. As for the Dutch side, Conor van den Berg in goal, Gladwin Curiel, Milan Hofland, Dane van der Meer, Giovanni Rahman, Patrick Vroeg, Milan Bican, Delano van der Heijden, Yannick Wilschut, Raider Karshu, and Chardy Landu. So here we go, about 4 minutes away from kickoff here at the Loughborough Stadium. You're joined with me, Ollie Aldis, on this stream for the PFA squad. Of course, as you may know, a 10-week training programme for out-of-contract players from the Premier League, EFL and beyond. And it just really does show how crucial this scheme is. Already a handful of players have been picked up along the last few weeks. I need to get my teeth in there. Danny Andrews signed for Stockport. Of course, he was with the PFA squad for the first few weeks of this 2025 camp, as well as Max Boruch. He's gone to FC Helsingør of Denmark, and Timothy Dieng has signed for the National League South side, Dagenham and Redbridge, who of course have been in the headlines recently, getting relegated from the National League last season. He'll join up with Andy Carroll next season, and that'll be an interesting link-up. But here we go. We can see the players on our screens now. The PFA squad wearing the white kit. The VVCS squad will be wearing the black one. The black PFA squad. It was a bit of an issue when they were flying over to England, and unfortunately their kits got lost. So someone somewhere has probably picked up 22 fresh kits. Don't know specifically what they look like, but I'd happily wear one. Probably with a good quality and everything like that, with the way modern day kits are made. But there are your PFA squad players coming out, as you can see. The number 17, Sam Barnes. Number 4, Anthony Ford. Number 16, Isaac Christie Davies. And number 5 there, Patrick Bauer, who's featured in the Championship, and of course had a brilliant moment in his career when he scored the winning goal for Charlton in the League One playoff final at Wembley against Sunderland in 2019. What a moment that would have been for Patrick Bauer, and hopefully he returns to professional football as soon as possible. Chris Maguire there, the number 10, and Mustafa Carriol, the number 7. Big, powerful left winger, Mustafa Carriol, and can play on either side. Of course, he'll have Chris Maguire up there leading the line, as well as Adam Reach, who I'm looking forward to watching this afternoon. He's got some brilliant technical ability and a wonder of a strike, and hopefully we see that here in the Loughborough Stadium on this Wednesday afternoon. So both captains in the centre circle, getting ready to kick things off of week 6. Of course, recently the PFA squad have played Hednesford. That was a convincing win. They also played Watford under-21s a couple of Saturdays ago. So they're really getting into winning ways, this PFA squad, which is why you're probably starting to see a few of the players go and sign professional contracts. Of course, there will be today in Loughborough plenty of agents and scouts specifically around the ground, around to try and see what gem they could pick up on a free. And how many times have we heard stories where a player has been picked up on a free and then ended up doing such a significant, impactful job for their new club. And there's the number 22, Patrick Vroeg, the captain. Just going over to his side for one last team talk, as we are pretty much on kick-off time now. It's 1 p.m, but there's always time for a quick photo, especially in today's day and age. Of course, the idea for these programs came about from the players themselves, including those on the PFA's own players board, who said there's an opportunity to do something like this so free agents don't have to train on their own over summer. And it's great that the Professional Footballers Association listened and kick-started this campaign. That's incredibly valuable. Of course, the camp itself helps players keep physically fit with fixtures, daily training and strength and conditioning. There's also wellbeing support offered, and that's a nice touch. After being released from a side, you'll need the help, not just physically, but also mentally too, to try and stay motivated and keep that attitude that clearly got the players to a pivotal point in their careers. We're ready to go. A couple of minutes after 1 p.m. The PFA squad facing the Dutch side, who are all fighting for contracts, which is a different type of game now going into this fixture. Of course, already the PFA squad have come up against teams like Worksop Town, Hednesford, as well as Watford under-21s. All players know where they're going to be playing to an extent by the start of next season, but not the PFA players. And this time around, they're up against a side who are also in the same situation. So it'll be an interesting affair, and both sides will be swapping their 11s at the start of the second half. Conor van der Berg just has to be wary there of the presence of Adam Reach, just lurking around the edge of the area, trying to press, as well as Chris Maguire. Perhaps it could be a 4-4-2 this afternoon, as it seems like Chris Maguire and Adam Reach are playing in a central position. But that can change given the fact that Adam Reach is also a winger. And here come VVCS, just past the post. Player that got the strike was Van der Heyden. Unable to find that bottom corner as he just drags it wide. It was a promising effort, and had it been a yard to the right, it would have beaten the goalkeeper. They look to switch it, but it's awkward. But brilliant for the away side as they're looking to try and play it neatly. Just looped over. Yannick Wildschut was jumping in the air to try and retrieve that, but it went beyond him. And out for another PFA squad goal kick. 2 minutes in. It's been a fairly promising start for the Dutch side. Bit of head tennis going on as Wildschut controls it. And they're probably one of the most comical free kicks you'll see for some time. Just passing it straight out of play, but the PFA squad won't mind. Back to James Brown. But they're being quite sloppy here, the PFA squad. Allowing the Dutch side to come forward again. Fake shot. That was nice on the eye. And the overhead kick. The acrobatics shown from the number 24, Chardy Landu. Not only was that a brilliant watch, but the effort too from Landu. Showing the confidence there. And both close efforts from the Dutch side have gone to this similar position, just past that left post. The PFA squad will try to come forward and start to create a cluster of attacks themselves through Carriol. Just playing like a left back right now, helping out his midfield and defence. Of course, the last club Mustafa Carriol was at was Exeter and Wealdstone. Previously, before that, Middlesbrough, Nottingham Forest, Ipswich, and Brighton and Hove Albion. He's most well known for his time at Middlesbrough, where he made over 50 appearances and scored 11 goals. And at the same time, he represented Gambia internationally with 7 appearances. Of course, he was at Wealdstone from January this year. He signed for Exeter last year and then departing after having only made 8 appearances. The 36-year-old looking to try and get back to professional football. See the idea from the 19, Karshush. Christy Davis, so offloading it onto that left-hand side. Throw in is the outcome. Here's Brown. Flicked pass, nice idea down the left-hand side, but the Dutch defender was favourite to it. There's the number 8, Jack Young. They'll take the throw. Young just flicking it over towards that left-hand side. Trying to play the reverse pass back, anticipating his fullback to make that run forward. But Young's through ball goes out of play, and the Dutch side will take a quick throw in, which is launched forward. PFA squad player underneath it. Young just trying to look around to keep the ball, but the VVCS side come away with it. That doesn't last forever though, as Young manages to squeeze a ball over towards his number 5, Patrick Bauer. The 22-year-old goalkeeper, Hubert Grassitz, not with the most convincing of distribution. But this time he was convincing coming down to his ground, managing to find the space. The PFA squad need to be aware of how much space they're giving their opponents around the penalty area. Fortunately, that strike was fairly routine for Grassic. Lovely switch. Here is Carrier looking to try and show off his skills. Wins a foul in the process. Chris Maguire just trying to fool his man, and then you can see Reach making that run. They win it back nicely through Brown. Here's Anthony Ford, now Reach on the right. Now that is a very interesting pass. He's just trying the first time flicked pass out towards the right-hand side, but instead completely missed kicking it and launching it out of play for an opponent's throw-in. Plays it over towards his goalkeeper, Van der Berg. It's a very speedy pass that over towards the number 6, Wildschut. He breaks into the box, still has it at the byline, As PFA squad aren't able to completely clear it away. And their opponents will keep the pressure on them. Once again, space found in a similar position. Unsure who's meant to be marking that zone. Perhaps the right back, James Brown, but it feels like a bit of a collective effort to be having that much room around the penalty area open in such a promising position for the away side. But they come away with it through reach. Nice layoff from number 4, Anthony Ford. And this looks promising now for PFA as they try to get bodies forward. Player on the overlap. Carriel will go alone. Forced to play it back to his colleague. It's Young. Now back to Ford. See Brown in some room on this near side. Back out to Maguire. Brown again. PFA squad just got a bit of momentum there where they broke forward, but the organisation of the Dutch side was able to just slow down their momentum. And now they tried to produce a counter-attack of their own, beating the player and going down, and absolutely frustrated and confused at the referee's decision to not give a penalty. Reda Karchuch, the player that was brought down by Bauer, not much in that really. No contacts between the legs. Simply just perhaps there was an argument for a shirt pull, but nothing else to try and bring him down. Correct decision from the referee. If you want my verdict. Ford finding himself in some room. Brown in towards reach. Very good with the ball at his feet and then just sends a lovely diagonal ball over towards Carriol. Players on the outside of the area, but he goes in and just glances past that far post. Whether that was a cross or a strike, it had some power on it. And if it met the head, it wouldn't have needed some connection to guide it into the back of the net. Just over for Chris Maguire to try and nod it down. It was all coming from the front three. Adam Reach sending it over towards Carriol to then try and find Maguire towards that back post. Of course, Carriol and Maguire, both 36 years of age, still looking to try and play more football as they approach their later 30s. Adam Reach has had plenty of EFL experience, but he's just 5 years younger than the pair of them. Chris Maguire once, I think it was for one of his old sides, Oxford United, the goalkeeper was pretending to him before he was about to take a penalty that he knows where he's going. And then when Maguire scored, his celebration was going to the goal mouth and then pretending to dive the wrong way. So he likes to bring his personality onto the pitch. That switch is cut out. Josh Ruffles. We're enjoying these switches, PFA squad, just trying to be fairly unpredictable. Of course, you don't want to do this too much, though, as then that becomes too predictable for this. But they're showing that they can play it at the moment with their short passing, and then when needed to go long. I suppose that's what really makes a team impactful. And it's hard to guess what they're going to do. And try and avoid just being in that predictable nature where things tend to get a bit stale. Now Brown. See the idea, but the player wasn't there. Good challenge there from Ruffles. And he wins the throw as well. Even better. Well, of course, this is a midweek game. Usually the PFA side are training between Monday and Thursday at Champneys Springs. What a lovely destination. 40 players per week. Which chops and changes week by week. Of course, there are some new faces waiting to be introduced for this side. One of which is Rolando Aarons, who was a hot prospect at Newcastle back in the mid-2010s. Of course, friendlies with Everton and Port Vale scheduled, with ongoing interest from Premier League and EFL clubs. So if you can provide an opponent for this PFA squad before the 4th of September, just a slight miscommunication there. Yannick Wildschut, I think perhaps feeling like leaving it was the best bet, but no one was there to try and pick it up behind him. The throw almost went their way. That's a sloppy pass, cut out. Just a bit of sloppiness we're seeing from this PFA squad so far. They've looked promising going forward in moments like this. But then at the back and in midfield, they've lost the ball when not needed. Maguire, though, with a great ball, and Carriol there. The goalkeeper doesn't do enough to keep it out. And that was a wonder of a ball from Chris Maguire to find his colleague to put his side one goal up before 17 minutes. The defending from the away side just couldn't keep track of Carriol, especially towards that far post, where he just galloped centrally into the penalty area to latch on to the end of that ball. So just after I was saying PFA squad were being slightly sloppy at points, doesn't really matter, does it? Because they're a goal up, and that's something that they've looked good at. Getting forward with their older players, showing their experience and just their natural talent to just open up a game. And it's fairly equal. Of course, the player that set that goal up, Chris Maguire, typically a striker but also a winger, and we're seeing him play more down the wing today. It's a fairly fluid front three, especially between Maguire and Reach, where you've often seen Reach come in on this right-hand side, but just like you see there, he's trying to make that run on the opposite side. Of course, Chris Maguire, previously of Aberdeen, as mentioned earlier, Oxford United, Rotherham, Sunderland, Sheffield Wednesday, Lincoln, Bury. There's over 300 appearances in the Scottish Premiership and English Football League. So plenty of professional football under his belt that he'll be looking to try and add to going into the next season. Here's Milan Hofland. It's to be intercepted. Rich. Now Maguire. Sloppy pass, which is accepted by Young. And now there's a bit of room for Reach to try and run into. Curling pass forward from Vandenberg. Ending up falling kindly towards their number 7, Van der Heyden, who tried the outside of the boot pass towards his colleague, Chardy Landu. And it had to require a PFA squad player to touch it out. Tempo you can see down this right. Now they bring it over to the left. Here's the goal scorer, Carriol. 2 players onto him. Works it into the centre of midfield. Just starting to gain yards and keep the ball and tire down the opposition. But a sloppy back pass enables the Dutch side to come away with it. Bit of trickery shown there, which forces the PFA player to make a foul. And it will be a free kick just after the PFA squad was starting to gather a bit of style with that passing pattern. You felt it could have ended somewhere. Had some potential. That then all died down. But they're having some joy in this mid-third, where they're just able to try and win it back and then suddenly have bodies attacking the Dutch squad. Haven't really been able to get out of their half much and do much, as they had done in the opening 5 minutes. Team VVCS. Of course, their most famous player probably on the pitch today is their number 6, Yannick Wilczuk. Previously played at Middlesbrough, Cardiff, Bolton and Wigan. I believe he was at Middlesbrough at the same time as Mustafa Carriol, so ex-teammates now on the pitch playing up against one another. And a free kick is the outcome, and a chance to try and double their lead. So it'll either be the left foot of Reach or the right of Maguire. Up against a 2-man wall, and the rest. It will be Maguire, and it will be a corner. The first corner of the game for either side. It's taken quickly. It was Ford who whipped one in. Ford may have another go. This time it will be Maguire. That's a good ball, and it's just headed over. Jack Young unable to keep the effort down. But a second time we've seen the magic of that right foot from Chris Maguire, scooping it with precision and power. And it just required a head down. And it stays at 1-0. Chris Maguire so far been a joy to watch in this game. Only have 20 minutes left of him before the side switch to the second 11 for the second half. Reach with the intended layoff, but he gives it away. Bauer will just try and pass it up the field, and he ends up finding one of his colleagues. Here's Ford. The PFA looking promising. Carriol may want to take it on his right, but instead he'll loft it in with his left, and it finds the goalkeeper's gloves. PFA managed to win it back. The back heel giving it back. Not really much point there apart from looking flashy, but Anthony Ford just trying to play it behind him with the heel. Instead, gifting the ball away. But it doesn't matter as they've got it back in their possession. Here's Bauer. Now Ford. Bauer just trying to bring it forward. Slightly put off his feet. Here's Maguire once again. Reach on the underlap. See the idea. But VVCS will try and come forward now through Wilshire. Able to take it past Anthony Ford. Here's Reach. Typically left-footed. So not fancying one with his right. And Brown is brought down. Of course, it's testament to the PFA how monumental this programme is. Last year it was an incredible success, and as a result, the PFA expanded capacity this summer, adding an extra 50 spots over the 10 weeks. And of course, it is 40 per week. And as you can see from the success stories, not just this season, as I highlighted earlier, but also in the years gone by, Dwight Gale, Ravel Morrison, who's also back in and around the PFA squad. Asmir Begovic, Martin Waghorn, Sam Klukas, Romain Sawyers, and of course Carl Jenkinson. That's a nice pass. Has to be kept in though, and it is. Ricocheting off a white shirt, but still alive for a black one. This time it'll be fired goalwards. The goalkeeper, Hubert Grasic, alert to that. Good save, strong save. Did well to not parry that into a dangerous position. Perhaps the effort though, given the fact that it was struck from outside the boot, may have not had the power needed to beat Grasic. kick goes the way of PFA squad. Here they come again. The Dutch side, lovely layoff from Wildschut. And it's the strike from Van der Heijden, the number 7, who tried to feed it in to the back of the net at that near post. And he just missed. In fact, it was the save from the goalkeeper. Good work there from Grasix. He's been busy in the last couple of minutes, and he has to be again there. The Dutch side have to regroup and get back to their positions. Here's Ford. Trusting his instincts with the ball, gliding it past a few opposition players. Here he is again. Trying to find the head of someone to let it bounce. It does bounce, but it falls in the favour of the Dutch squad. So over half an hour gone, Mustafa Carriol's goal is what separates these two. The stitch was from Chris Maguire, and it was a magnificent cross which found the run of Carriol coming into the box, and all he needed to do was just guide it goalwards. The power from the effort all came from that delivery from Chris Maguire. It was enough to just take it past the goalkeeper as the ball fell into the corner. Carriol went away satisfied, which will help his cause to try and find a club in the next few weeks, as it will for Chris Maguire. But in the meantime, Charlie Landu fancied his chances from that angle. Just a bit of push and shove going on, as you can see. Isaac Christie-Davies just trying to win the ball back, unable to take it off him. Landu just stretching out a leg to get there before the white shirt of Christie-Davies could. So Delano van der Heijden lining up this free kick. This would take some doing, but he curls it in. Dealt with by the PFA squad, not once but twice, but it's still here alive for the Dutch side, causing a bit of confusion between the defenders, and you can see the number 16, Milan Hofland, has gone down holding his head as it was whipped in. Bauer and Brown, the two players in white, looking to try and get rid Instead, Bauer just knocking Hofland, who's going to require some medical treatment. Well, 10 minutes left of the first half. And it's been fairly equal in proportions. There's been some mistakes made. Oh my. You can see the red on the face of Milan Hofland. Clearly in some distress and bleeding heavily. So hopefully he's okay. It's good that he's standing on his own 2 feet. I think he just clattered into the back of the arm of Patrick Bauer. The trooper stood up. Perhaps he'll come back on, or maybe he'll be forced off. Some last minute tactical chats before the break is underway. Milan Hofland just receiving some treatment and attention. Patrick Bauer, though, the player he bashed into, still having words with him of support. Most likely apologising for what occurred. So, Hubert Grasix, the goalkeeper, for the next 7.5 minutes to get us back underway. Wishing all the best for Milan Hofland. But in the meantime, PFA squad are making no time wasted. Well, the offside, unfortunately, does just cut short any potential attack there. The referee, I think, just calling to the bench in regard to Hofland's injury. They've had some joy, the VVCS side, and they managed to try and get bodies forward at points, but the PFA squad have just been that bit better, that bit more potent at going forward and actually opening up the opportunities. I mean, that strike goes way over from Christy Davies, just looking for that placement in the roof of the net. Instead finding the trees behind it. That's neat. Once again, you see that when they try the intricate pass, it's a nice idea to just finish a move. But it's just that final pass that's been lacking at points for the PFA squad. Of course, the player who just fired over, Isaac Christie-Davies, former Welsh under-21 and England youth international, developed in Chelsea's academy, winning multiple youth titles, won the FA Youth Cup and the UEFA Youth League with Chelsea. Since then, he's been in Bruges, Liverpool and Barnsley. And only 27 years of age, so still got years left playing the game. And a setup like this can do really well for a player of that age too. In the meantime, Maguire. That's a nice pass. Here's Brown, low and hard, just past the face of goal, as well as Mustafa Carriol. He was looking to just latch on to the end of that ball. All it needed was a poke. But it was just in front of him. Close opportunity though. And Carriol looking for his second goal of the day. See Jack Young doing a lot of the running at the moment. Can sit deep, but also likes to come and join in on the attack. Christie-Davies laying it over towards Carriol. Ruffles out towards Carriol. Does he fancy an assist? He does, but he gets a corner instead. Well, the second corner for the PFA squad. Able to make anything count there, but it's picked up by Young. Clipped over towards this near side. And here's Maguire. That ball doesn't have the best aim compared to what we've seen him do so far in the opening 43 minutes. Here's Van der Heyden. And they try and get a last-minute goal before the sets of players refresh. Grassics ensures they can't just for that brief moment with the clearance. Doubling up on this left-hand side as it's laid back off to Kosciusz. Vroeg. Vroeg again. They're moving the ball round, but just unable to really bring it into a clinical position to try and actually have an effort at goal. So far, just being pushed from side to side or around the box, as we have less than 90 seconds to go of this first half. It looks like Mustafa Carriol's goal is going to be the match winner for these two 11s, unless VVCS can make something happen from here. It's a late surge for the Dutch side. Now Brown, as well not to get caught out there as he had two black shirts onto him. Slightly sloppy pass that Maguire had his eyes open for. well to work it through. And very well to work out the pass. Can they finish with an equaliser? Oh, Grasix with a brilliant save to still keep it 1-0 to the PFA squad. The opportunity isn't over just yet. Here's Kachuch on the cutback. But could that have been their opportunity for VVCS in this first half? They look to try and come away with it now. With a pass like that, Anthony Ford will welcome that all day long. And then he even has time to set off a pass to one of his colleagues who bombs forward. See Adam Reach trying to come forward as well to support. And they have a throw. Look at this here. Charlie Landu, who had the overhead kick earlier on in this first half, just seen go wide. He was there trying to curl it in. Nice height for the goalkeeper. Not to take anything away from the goalkeeping at all. It was a good height. Didn't really require him to stretch. But he still made the save, and that's all that matters. And that is half-time. Mustafa Carriol is the first half match winner. And they come off with their heads held high for the PFA squad. There was some good moments for the VVCS team, but not enough, especially towards the end. Good goalkeeping from Grasix. We'll be back in just under 15 minutes' time for the start of the second half.
Chill with me, with me, with me, with me,
Well, welcome back everyone for the start of the second half for the PFA squad versus VVCS. Mustafa Carriol has handed his side, who have changed at half-time, a one-goal advantage as they approach this second half. But that for them, that won't matter. A new half is a new game, realistically, especially for this PFA squad. Currently lining up that you'll see now for the side in white. In goal, Archie Mayer. And it's a back four. They're playing a 4-2-3-1 this time. Tanae Watson from right to left of the back line. Tyler Maglior, Kyle Jameson, and Jaden Brown. The midfield two of Ryan Tunnicliffe and Ben Stevenson. The essentially midfield three, but the attacking midfield three of Rolando Aarons, Hakeem Adelakan, and Ofulela Olomalola. Adama Diamande leads the line. And of course, an interesting lineup. Very much looking forward to seeing Ofulela Olomola, who has had a really strong campaign for the squad in this camp. Scored around 5 goals. He's prolific against Hednesford and Watford. And hopefully we see some more of that this afternoon in this second period. Of course, one of the players doesn't actually have a shirt today, Hakeeb Adelakan. So if you do see someone without a shirt, then it will be him. And here they come forward again. Number 13, Carl Jameson. Moving towards Ryan Tunnicliffe. On the right side of that midfield, but currently set up as a left back just in that movement. Nice turn. PFA looks to try and complete their energetic start by getting a goal. They're unable to there though, as Diamande will chase. Of course, the number 9 Ofalela Olamola. On the left, you can see Hakeeb Adelakan without the shirt, just sitting behind Diamande in between Rolando Aarons and Olamola. Sloppy pass that Olamola gobbles up. And he gets a corner, the first of the game, and it's early on in this second period. They play it short. Here's Tunnicliffe. This time he'll whip one in, but headed away. Ball back out to him. Tunnicliffe again. Sloppy pass, but won back nicely. Through Jaden Brown, the left back. He takes it quickly. Now Tunnicliffe. Now Habib Adelakan. Olamola. Quick feet. Beating his man. Unable to match the cross. There's no one really there to try and provide the attack for that ball played across the face of goal from Olamola. Perhaps slightly more hopeful from him. Just hoping someone would be there to tap it home. Tricky feet. And a driving run from the centre forward. Ball played all the way down to this near side. Well, the free kick's taken quickly, and they're going to try and get a hold on this game in this second half, VVCS. It's a smart pass in towards the box. And almost, you could see the idea, just trying to play the through pass beyond the D, hoping one of the players in black would run onto it. They had too much onto it, it went back to the PFA squad. Here's Olamola. This looks promising. As it finds its way out to Rolando Aarons on that right-hand side. He fancies one as he whips it fiercely, trying to find the corner. But it was a smart stop to deny the ex-Newcastle prospect. Jaden Brown. Trying to find Olamola. Tunnicliffe. Tunnicliffe's probably seen most of the ball in this game. 32 years old. Last club was in Adelaide, so he's had the luxurious play all the way out in Australia, soaking up the sun. Before that, though, he was at Manchester United, Peterborough United, Wigan, Fulham, Blackburn, Millwall, Luton, Portsmouth, and then, of course, decided to go across the other way of the world. Made over 350 appearances in English football and the A-League. Of course, he's even represented England at under 17 and 16 level. Just see Diamande leading the line, just instructing his players on where to be, perhaps when to press as well. Well stood up there from Carl Jameson as he just tried to play a pass forward into the route of Olamola, but it was unable to find him, and back in safe possession now for the Dutch squad. Of course, in the first half, Milan Hofland had to go off following his injury on his face. He was bleeding following that collision with Patrick Bauer, who of course has come off and has been replaced by the right centre half of Tyler Magloire. This is neat. Rolando Aarons, this is very nice. Oh, put it in the top corner if you can. A lovely goal there from Rolando Aarons. Drifting in from the right, linking up nicely with his colleague Ben Stevenson. The quick feet too much, and then the dinked powerful finish. Straight into the side netting, and it's 2-0. Well, goals like that really are magnificent when you watch them in real time. That's the way he linked up with Ben Stevenson. The confidence shown as well. No hesitation, knew exactly what he was doing. Of course, Rolando Aarons, mentioned earlier, previously of Newcastle. But he's jetted out to Slovenia most recently, played for NK Kelje. Only 29 years of age, so still with a few years left at his powers. And could they show their powers once more? Good save at the near post to deny Diamande. As the PFA squad, after that Rolando Aarons goal, really have a taste for attacking right now, which CCVS are clearly trying to nullify straight away and maybe make an attack of their own. Here they come through Samba Will. Aarons was at Huddersfield, Wickham, Motherwell. He made 22 senior appearances for Newcastle in the end, scoring twice. And of course had multiple loan spells in England and abroad. Featured in the Slovenian top flight last season. And after that contract came to an end, he found himself with the PFA squad. And it'll be interesting to see where he goes next. plenty of experience in the English Football League. I wonder who next may give him an opportunity to continue that trajectory. Of course, though, he may want to go alone, abroad. They tried to play it long this time. Up over towards Reda Karkuch. That looked promising, but Archie Mayer was off his line in a quick flash. Another goal kick. Archie Mayer this time. Of course, replaced the youngster. Here they come again once more. Reda Karkuch has seen most of the ball for the Dutch side in this second half. This hasn't really opened up for him. Of course, in the beginning of the first half, we saw a lot of the Dutch players getting into good positions. It felt like the PFA squad were on the back foot for the beginning. But then as the game went on, they started to find their flow. And the players you'd expect to deliver literally did deliver in Chris Maguire and, of course, Carriol, who met that delivery to just tap it home. Well, that's a high foot. And straight away you could see the players and the referee run over towards the number 24, Ben Stevenson, to ensure he's okay. If we just have a look here, it's the high foot, I think, from Karkuch. Unsure where that may have hit him, but definitely towards that upper rib cage. And Stevenson can really feel it now as he's on the floor receiving some more help from his staff. There's Ben Stevenson, a strong 28-year-old midfielder. Previous clubs, Cambridge most recently, but before that, Portsmouth, Colchester. He was on loan at Forest Green Rovers and started out at Coventry. It's over 200 appearances across League 1 and 2. So picking up someone on a free of his quality and his experience could be incredibly valuable. Of course, he came through the Coventry City Academy and made his senior debut in League 1 during the 2016-17 season, when he would have been about 20 years old. Well, he's back up on his feet now, as we're just past the hour mark. 2-0 to the PFA squad, with Stafford Carriol in the first half and Rolando Aarons in the second. They're in control, and so far they're playing like they're in control as well. Carl Jamieson to resume proceedings. No, it will be Jaden Brown in the end, as Jameson just goes back to his typical left centre-half position. There's Magloire. He's out of his, but it's okay, as they managed to play it over towards the right. Here's Aarons, shouldering off one, trying to feed in the through ball. Didn't have the quality to do so, though. Moves kindly back to Jameson. Here's Mayer. That's a clever pass. Finding the run of Olamola. It's PFA sent to third. Davies is in support. And he'll curl one in. Player was there. Sticking out a leg. But it was defended well. Here's Adelakan. Back to Olamola. Just trying the first time passing, which didn't pull off then. Shouldering off the bodies, trying to come forward now. This is a good ball. Olamola's first touch just lets him down and sees the ball go out of play for another goal kick. And there's going to be a substitution. And on comes Gladwin Curiel. So he looks to play over on that left-hand side. The defender who comes on. Left-sided one. Here's Jameson, the left centre half, advancing high up the pitch. Nice back heel. Finding Diamande, poking it forward, but Rolando Aarons in an offside position, which the assistant referee has called. Looked very tight from this angle. And it was a nice move too. Just so many runners coming forward. The back heel. Diamande now. Perhaps he was from that angle. Perhaps the number 5, Samba Will, was playing him on, but I take the assistant referee's view over mine. This looked positive, but it just doesn't last long. Able to really break into their final third, the VVCS side. In light work for that back four of Jaden Brown, Carl Jameson, Tyler Magliori and Tene Watson. Archie Mayer, the goalkeeper, still yet to be forced to make a save. And that's well left. Here comes the run of Watson. Putting in a low ball. Olamola once again, a poor touch. And he's looking around thinking, how did that happen? Not the first time. Where he was teed up nicely. And then it just seems like that first touch is incredibly, it's unintentional, like every poor first touch really is, but both times he's kind of been in his stride. The ball's fallen to him, but not when he's actually anticipating the touch, which just sees the ball awkwardly go in front of him like it's a video game. So unfortunate there for Olamola, as he's got himself in good positions, just needs to sort that touch out. And he could really show us now what he's done so far in this PFA camp. That's ambitious. And it's straight into the gloves of Mayer. Rolled out quickly. Tricky feet from Aarons. Trying to lay off Adelican. But in the meantime, this looks promising. The Dutch side showing their attacking intent, more so than before. They just look a bit clumsy when they've got the ball around that 6-yard box, like they don't really know what to do. This time it's shot from distance. The deflection sees it go past for a corner kick. But it's neat passing once again. I think the number 19 Reda Karkush just wanted to have a go there. Enough of the short passing. Let's just try and test the goalkeeper first. Good corner, good delivery. Almost finding the back of the net, it seemed. It takes Olamola to clear it away. And then from distance. Over. But ambitious from the number 18. Dane van der Meer, the defender. Trying a Vincent Kompany versus Leicester in 2019 type of effort from the centre half.
I can't hear you, sorry. Yeah, the corner flag and kind of a few players in the box. Right, I've got. Yeah, that's so far right. Yeah, it does. But remember, this one's just quite small. Put it on the TV.
Archie Mayer. As we're approaching just 20 minutes to go. Orlando Aarons doubling the PFA squad's lead. Awkward clearance, sees it a throw for the Dutch squad. Here's Samba Will, who came on in the second half. Heavy touch from Karkush. He's trying to slip it forward. They do well there to try and work it towards the left. Here's Olamola. Brown. See Tunnicliffe just slotting in between the two centre halves. It really splits them up. It's like they've played with a back five at times when they're passing it around and they're in possession. As you can see, Carl Jameson is often at left centre half playing like a left back, with Jaden Brown playing like a left midfielder. Here is Tunnicliffe. Dispossessed was Jameson. That's a nice touch and pass. Well worked as they're bursting into the box, but the assistant referee's flag is raised. Judged offside. Unfortunate for them, and he was offside, the number 20, Gillian Ilaria. So no arguing there with the assistant referee. Aaron's brought down with some force. Nice one too. He was just too quick there for the number 23, Gladwin Curiel. So a free kick, 18 minutes to go as well. PFA in control. Still Archie Mayer unable to be tested. This looks promising. Good ball. Powers there, but Diamande flicks it above the woodwork. Unable to get PFA squad's third. There's a brilliant ball played in. Lots of speed and power. Quite tricky though for Diamande to try and deal with it, because you really have to adjust your body there and try and duck down to be able to meet that height. Forced forward. Here's Kokouch. A fair threat when he's got forward. Of course, he's a big frame. Sometimes looks a little unorthodox when he gets on the ball. He then fouled Stevenson. He understands that there was only going to be one winner there, which is why he needed to challenge him. Here's Adelican. Spread out towards Aarons, trying to cut it around, but he takes the ball out of play with him. So another throw for the Dutch squad. Lamola. Now Tunnicliffe. This looks promising. Brown by the byline, straight into the gloves of the goalkeeper. Good work, unfazed. And rolls it straight out. Here's Kokouch. Yannick Wildschut. Game felt like it was played on pause just for a second there, as PFA weren't pressing, but they had the two centre-halves for the Dutch squad just passing it around as if it was nobody's business. But I suppose you don't have anyone pressing you, the pressure's off, but they are 2 goals down and would like to try and find the back of the net before the 90th minute. Be able to take something home with them, especially the attackers. If you're in this environment where scouts are watching you, clubs are watching you, and you're an attacker and don't find yourself scoring or setting one up, it does make your life that bit trickier. They're looking tempting now, though. They go for distance. Instead, they go for the pass, and that just sums up how they've played in parts in this second half. Smart passing, but the execution hasn't been there. Just overhit passes when they've mattered most, but it's not over yet. Their second corner of the game. And a chance to halve the deficit. Plenty of running around, all for a short corner. This is nice. Good defending, but it's not over yet. And now perhaps it will be. No, it won't. This is optimistic and promising. There'll be another corner. Starting to turn on the heat now, starting to find their groove, but it's been good defending so far from the PFA squad, and they don't need to defend there with that looping ball that goes out of play. Another goal kick. The PFA squad managed to deal with that pressure that lasted a few minutes. This looks promising. Adelican running onto it. His colleague got there instead. His opponent, I should say, the 22. Here comes Olamola. Fairly quiet last 5-10 minutes. Brown. Put it down. Make it given. No, it's not. It's taken quickly. Advantage played. But then, is there much advantage in that? He just runs it towards other players and allows them to win the ball back. Diamande slipping over with both legs stretched out. Fortunate to not sustain a groin injury there. Here comes Adelican. Quick feet. Spread out. Aarons whipping one in. And the goalkeeper, Aaron van Leer, was alert to the danger. Of course, Habib Adelican, 29-year-old forward, just playing in behind the striker, Diamande, this afternoon. He's got lots of senior appearances, 280 in League One and League Two. Scunthorpe, Bristol City, Rotherham, Hull, Gillingham, Doncaster and Lincoln. And more recently he's been at Salford and Doncaster. He scored 13 goals in 30 league appearances last season for Salford. So he's had a successful campaign, and it's been unfortunate that he wasn't able to perhaps re-sign a deal to keep him at a club. But of course, this is why the PFA programme is there, to provide people like him who maybe a hidden gem an opportunity to shine. Looks like a promising ball. I'll be surprised if the assistant referee's flag isn't up. And unfortunately for them, it is. So just under 10 minutes to go. Started off well, of course, with the Rolando Aarons goal. Since then, it's been relatively equal in terms of possession stats, but it does feel like PFA squad have edged the team called VVCS. This looks promising. Can they finally get their goal? Comes off a player, but which one? It looks like it came off a player in white, so it will be a corner kick. It'll be taken by the number 23, Gladwin Curiel. Taken short. Tricky feet. Something may happen from distance here. No, it won't. Fizzed into the box, but once again, feels like he's seen a lot of the ball cock out. Hasn't really done anything with it. In the meantime, Diamande has sights for the ball on goal. And so does the goalkeeper, Aaron Van Laer. Hammering it all the way to the other end of the pitch, and he's actually created an opportunity for his side here. Tricky feet at the byline, swung in, but then curves out of play for another goal kick. Lamola from deep. Is Brown trying to sense the ball to play it in behind. You can see the idea as he tried whipping it to find a central player. Good press from Diamande. He's got support, but Diamande perhaps wants to go alone to just show he can find the back of the net. Still Diamande. Falls kindly towards Aarons, who'll swing it in towards that back post. Olamola trying to keep it alive. Adelakun, lovely touchdown, and that is the pick of the bunch. The touchdown, and the strike to arrow it into that top corner. What a goal from the 29-year-old. Olamola getting the assist. The way he took that down and fooled his opponent, and then with his left foot guided it with power to just curl into that side netting. Have some of that, 3-0, and it's a win for the PFA squad. Here's Tunnicliffe. Could we see the floodgates start to open now? Just over 5 minutes to go. Stafford Carriol's goal in the first half, and goals from Akib Adelakun and Rolando Aarons in the second half. What put the PFA in a lovely position. Not 4. Not that time though. Heavy touch, which Stevenson tried to make the most of. Here come VVCS for a late charge. Bringing it in and putting it over towards this near side. I suppose the goal from Adelakun, all the goals really, from Maguire's cross in towards Carriol to the brilliant footwork of Aarons, and that of Adelakun as well, just shows the difference in these sides, the quality they've got around the box. Of course, Reda Karkuch found himself with the ball in some good positions, but just didn't really have the quality. So when you see the opponents in the same positions compared to the PFA squad. Of course, the PFA squad have just shown the quality they've got. And that, of course, like it is in any game, the difference. Nice ball from Adelican, playing with a bit of swagger now after scoring that fine third. Curled in towards that back post. Another goal kick. So just over 90 seconds to go with the PFA squad getting another win under their belts. A fine camp they're all having. Can Diamande add to the action? He tried to potentially take it past. I thought he was maybe going to try and cut it in there, but perhaps that might have been a bit obvious. So he's stuck on the same side of his man. Here's Stevenson. Delican. That's nice. Trying to keep it in. Olamola hitting it straight at the goalkeeper. Back out to Tanae Watson. Now Delican. They're looking for a fourth. Tunnicliffe. Neat pass is just cut out. And they win it back. The free kick is won after Taylor Magliori was brought down. Well, they'll be delighted that they've all but got the clean sheet. Perhaps they were wanting to get a fourth. Will they get one from this late chance as the ball is deep into the Dutch side's half? Not so much anymore. And they'll try and make one last attack happen. Here's Tunnicliffe. What a shift he's put in this second half. From the heart of midfield, and this time you knew it was coming. Diamande about a yard out. He's not missing that. Tunnicliffe, who's been so imperial in this second half with Stevens, with a beautiful pass to Aaron. Slight bit of fortune, but he looked up and he knew exactly where he was placing that pass. And the touch from Diamande just adds that extra bit of oomph to this result. And that is that. Great goals all round. Mustafa Carriol in the first half. In the second, it was Rolando Aarons, Hakeeb Adelakan and Adama Diamande that did a fine job for the PFA squad. Looking forward to seeing where these players end up as we approach the first part of the season. Of course, we've still got the championship to begin. There's still a few more games for the PFA squad, which will be live streamed on YouTube. Of course, you've still got Everton under 21s to be played and many more hopefully to come. But that'll be the end here. Of course, it started a while back now, just after 1 p.m. and Mustafa Carriol finding the end of that magnificent Maguire delivery. But it was a great start to the second half. The footwork from Rolando Aarons. From Rolando Aarons, excellent there. Had a bit of a Freudian slip. And what a finish. What an absolute finish into that far corner. Chipping it, dinking it, powering it. Excellent. And then this, I think, for everyone, surely is the pick of the bunch. There was a good bunch. But not only was that takedown exceptional, but the strike at the end, just superb. And then the easiest goal scored of the afternoon, set up by the second goal scorer, Diamande, making it 4. Well, thank you for joining me, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at the PFA. You've been joined by me, Ollie Aldis, in the gantry. Have a lovely rest of your afternoon. We'll be back for more. PFA Squad 4, the Dutch equivalent 0.